Hey there, how there, ho there, it's Jeff Carradine. Welcome to final round coverage of the 80s 2000s match play tournament from Royal Melbourne. It's US versus World. 12 American golfers who don't have a title win in the 80s 2000s tour, taking on 12 golfers from the world that likely don't have a title in their hands. So the Americans are crushing it by 9 points. All they need is 2 points, and the Americans clinch. They can win. They just need to win 2 matches out of 12. Matches today are Lucas Glover versus Trevor Immelman, Payne Stewart versus Angel Cabrera, Tiger Woods versus Jeff Ogilvy, Larry Watkins versus Michael Campbell, Bill Rogers versus Robert Allenby, Bubba Watson, Tim Clark, Larry Nelson, KJ Choi, Phil Mickelson, Mike Weir, the battle of the lefties, Tom Watson, David Graham, Ben Crenshaw, Sergio Garcia, Fuzzy Seller, Mariama, and Zach Johnson, Retief Goosen. So the rules are state this: the winner is on each team get a trip to Augusta for the year-end tournament, which starts on New Year's Day 2026. And whoever the top point getter on the other side of probably the world guy, will get a second place spot, which means a spot in the wildcard tournament at the end of December to get one of those 6 wildcard spots. All that. However, just like normal, if you have a wildcard spot, you still can win a tournament in subsequent months, and that second place spot it will be ripped apart because after all, it is a last last ditch thing. So we look at the stats. Zach Johnson is a perfect 4 for 4 in his 4 matches. Fuzzy Seller is only half point back at 3.5, with Mickelson, Watson, and Crenshaw at 3 points. Basically, the big five, if you will. On the world side, Mariama and Goosen both have 3 points, and Garcia's got 2.5. But Goosen got picked for the last match against Zach Johnson because of him taking a tiebreak on Mariama. And I think Mariama has a second place finish anyhow. Or was that last year? I think that was last year. I've been told that it was last year. By the way, there's been 4 straight guys from the 2000s winning, so someone from the 80s. Well, if Zach loses and Fuzzy Seller wins, then you know what's going to happen. Mariama Goosen. So we have to keep our eyeballs on Seller and Mariama. So anyway, that's tee off. We're going to do the final matchup, Johnson versus Goosen, because a lot is riding on it. Here we go. Zach Johnson, who's 4 for 4. He wants to go 5 for 5 against these guys and get himself his second tournament win. Of course, you get a tournament win. This would be his second win of his tournament win of his career. Nice job by Goosen. He's very close. Zach, oh boy, that's beautiful. 2 yards. Goosen up and spin. Over the other way. 5 yards away for bird. Oh, not even close. Sack for the hole. Got it. Run up. Sack up and to the right side. Nicely done. Goosen. Whoa, the dice roll did not help him out. Goosen up and over. Look out, is that? Oh, that's a bunker. Sack. Rolling up, and that's going to be a good putt. Well, you're not going to get -2 if you make it. Oh, I thought Goosen had it. I thought he had it for the hole. It's like 2 feet. Goosen to be over the 3. Back on to 3. Up and over. Oh. Goosen. A roll for birdie, 49 feet. I would lag. You're up by 1. You might as well lag. Goosen. What a mistake. And he can't make that putt. Back to the look at it. He does. He's 2 up. But Goosen has to keep an eye on Mariama and hope that he doesn't win, so that he can still claim his second place trophy and a second chance tournament. They both go wide left. Really wasn't a wind. Whoa, it's off the green. Goosen. But it doesn't completely roll off the green. Zach is going to putt. Might as well make it close and hope Goosen doesn't make his shot. Which he does. Double one. Thank God. 7-1. Adrian Goosen up and over. Johnson up, and he's close, but they'll roll back. They'll roll back on you for bird. Off by a foot. Johnson for the hole. Nuts. A little tie. Well, Italy's going to beat Glover, so that's actually good news. The internationals have a win, and it's Immelman's. Well, of course, he's nowhere near the points thing, but he's just playing for. The Americans just need 2 points to clinch it. Okay. Close. Birdie. Off by a foot. Johnson should be able to get this. You bet. Kane beats Cabrera by 3, and that's all for now. So 1-1. So one more American win. Yeah, those guys don't have enough points to catch like Zach and Goosen for the spot, because it's important, because, you know, you get a prize for being the best flyer. Up it over. Goosen. Nice goal. That end of that for Bird. Goosen should be able to get his. He does. And we go to 8. Back up by 2. Okay, to the right side, next to them. Then up and over. Not there. Sack. Up there. One sack. 15 feet. 44 feet for birdie. He'll leg. We're up by 2. You might as well leg. Goosen 22 feet. He has to putt. No lagging. 40 feet is still winning. How good be? So good be. That's it. The Americans win. Watkins beats Michael Campbell. So, yeah, the Americans win now. That means that if Zach Johnson does win, that gives him the second tournament win and a trip to Augusta. And Goosen will need a mistake by Maruyama for him to get a second chance tournament. I mean, second place is good because I think 2 of the 3 winners of the tournaments, the year-end tournament, actually has gone that route. Hey! I thought he had it. Sack for the hole. Too much. And they'll tie. But that's up by 2. I don't think it's great. Sack to the left side. Goosen. Second shot. Whoa! Where the hell did that go? Like, it went to the hospitality tent. That could be the entry in the seat. Might as well leg the back. Off by 2. Goosen needs a good kick. And hop for double. Well, Goosen fumbled that shot. And Johnson does. Johnson has 3 up. Rogers and Allenby tie. Nelson beats Choi. Weir loses to Mickelson. Wow. The Americans are just dominating today. I wonder if that's the most point. I wonder which team had the most points through the 5 days. We had 60 possible points. I don't know if this is the most dominant the Americans have been. The points. Goosen, well, that's a great shot. Sack it. We have 8 to play. He's close. He makes the shot. Goosen's making his shot. Double Watson highest clerk. So at least Americans are preventing full point. The world's preventing full point. Goosen fumbles, Sack fumbles, second shot for both guys, and Goosen up, and Sack for birdie. I'm not surprised he could have let Goosen for the hole, though. Well, you kind of thought he was going to Sack's up by 3 with 6 to play. To the right. Goosen. Shooting the wall in the first cut. Wow, I'm actually surprised. Well, he's got an angle. Sack's got the same angle. So So that actually helps out Goosen in a sense because that's just as screwed as hell. Goosen. For part. Too much. For the hole. Ah, he missed. Johnson for birdie. Oh, what a miss. Goosen now set to 2. Watson beats Graham. Goosen up and over the sharp point. That's a good squid hit. Johnson might go right. And make sure that Goosen not in the hole. Sergio defends, so nice win for Sergio. The right-hand side for Goosen. Johnson defends to win. He'll be 5 for 5, and we all know he will take home the trip to Augusta. Goosen up and over. Pops it up and good shot. Birdie. Too much by Goosen. Johnson for the hole. Match. Well, that will be game set match. Johnson doesn't have to win over. He just can't lose it. So practically exact win his ties Amy the next 3 holes. Up and over. Sorry. For birdie. Can't finish it off. Goosen for the hole. Oh, he missed my foot. And that's it. Back to Goosen by 2. And that means Zach Johnson will win his second career tournament. Said Jay. That is second tournament. So no American can beat him in a sense. There's still one more match left. We might as well go to it. And it's Maruyama versus Seller. This is actually big. Not for Fuzzy, but for Maruyama. If Maruyama wins or ties the hole, he gets points. And he was tied with Goosen. So Maruyama, all he has to do is stay the course. He doesn't have to win the hole. If he ties the hole, then he jumps over Goosen and gets that runner-up spot, which at worst will give him a trip to the wildcard tournament. Fuzzy Seller was playing for nothing. But in a sense, he's playing for Goosen. I don't know if anyone else has caught him. Didn't mean to sneeze and Maruyama shot. Second shot. Seller up and... Oh, I thought he aced it. 4 yards. Maruyama's got to get close. I don't think so. That could be big for Goosen. He needs a 40-foot putt, and he really needs this one. And he misses. Fuzzy for the match. Got her! Fuzzy wins on the 18th hole. Maruyama may have had his golden chance. Well, Sergio won on the third last hole. Maybe Sergio did it. I don't know. Well, at the end of the day, the Americans won 7-2. No, 8-2. Americans won 8. The world won 2, and only 2 ties. So the Americans just needed 2. They got 8. Immelman and Garcia both won. Allenby and Clark halved. The question in my mind is, does that change anything in the world? It does. Sergio's win actually got him second place. So Sergio's in second place. So Sergio jumped over Maruyama and Goosen at 3.5 points. So holy shit. Like Zach Johnson, 5 for 5. Fuzzy Seller missed by half a point. Too bad they don't give like the scoreboard for Fuzzy Seller completely. Lucas Glover was the worst with only 1 point. Every American had at least a 50% rating. 1 point for Lucas Glover. The world team, everyone got a point at least on the world team. Michael Campbell only got half point. Ogilvy only got 1. Sergio got 3 points. Maruyama got 3 points. Goosen got 3 points. Well, Sergio got 3.5, which means that Sergio snuck past Goosen with his win. So Goosen was like, "Oh, I got to win or hope Mariama chokes." Well, Mariama, but the problem was Sergio won his match. He was at 2.5. They both, Goosen forgot that Sergio could sneak past him, and he did. And Goosen gets robbed. Goosen will have to hope for the best. Sergio does have a second place in case of emergency break glass. Now, I wonder, Fuzzy Seller, 4.5 points. Phil Mickelson and Tom Watson both had 4 points. So four guys on the Americans had more than the top world guy. Well, the U.S. won by 15. I think that's the biggest. Well, Fuzzy beat Mariama by 1. Fuzzy beat Cabrera on Saturday. He beat Immelman. He beat Weir. Fuzzy tied Michael Campbell on the first day. Michael Campbell actually was up by 3 with 8 holes left, and Fuzzy won 3 holes and managed to tie Campbell. So Fuzzy Seller had half point after day 1 and then won 4 straight. But Zach Johnson won 5 for 5. So the 15-point win. I wonder if that's the most impressive. I'm just I'm just looking. Early 2010s. Early 2010s. That was a world win by 7. 80s, 2000s, we know was by 15. 70s, 90s, the Americans won by 18. So they actually won by more, 39-21. Yeah, they won by 18, whereas they went by 15. Yeah, the 70s guys, yeah, the 70s Americans won by 18. And the 40s Americans won by 9. Okay, fair enough. So yeah, that wasn't the biggest blowout. And they're like, that's not the biggest blowout? Nope. Well, fine. Have it your way. So it's the Canadian Open 2025 from G. It's Glen Abbey, not Firestone. I would like to do a thing with Firestone. Select everyone plays, all 156 people, including Dave Little. Should be 156 guys with Dave Little. Yep. And it is the top 40 in ties because it is a, yeah, top 40 in ties. It is what we're going to call a major. And we'll see. So, yeah, so top 40 in ties. We will just make sure that the few little rounds around the group. Zach Johnson, I say 20. 51. So Zach Johnson is late. Second last group with Jody Mudd and VJ. Green, Edwards, and Bean are the last group. But yeah, Zach is with My Name is Mud and VJ. And Sergio, well, Sergio will worry about on Friday. He's with Mark Hensby and Chris Riley late on Thursday, early on Friday. Stephen Ames is with Mike Weir and Joey Sindelar. And Mike Weir is with Fred Funk and Larry Nelson in Group 7. So the two Canadians, well, you are Glen Abbey. So hopefully they do well for national pride. Anyhow, I'm Jeff Diamond. Adieu.